You gotta grab this and lift up.
Ah. Stupid fancy Mustangs. Alright, so first things first, what mode do I need to be in? Okay. Doesn't matter.
Right here?
Yep.
Push up, and you can pick the mode.
Sport. Track. Welcome to our second video, where Adam has graciously let me drive his GT350 in exchange for wearing a Ford Racing t-shirt.
Hopefully you can hear what we're saying with the exhaust. It's kind of loud. And we got the sun setting, sun on our face. So we want to talk about the differences between the GT350 and the Boss 302.
Get an upshift and I was like 5,000 RPM. Oh, missed the raccoon.
Let me emphasize clean windows when the sun is setting. First,
this thing is so easy to heel-toe downshift.
It really is, right? It's ridiculous.
Why does that work so well? That's weird. It's super natural.
The throttle blips so quick too.
Yeah.
So the throttle blips are a lot easier versus some other cars. Difference off of
this is actually a test of whether or not Adam can talk while I rip on his brand new $60,000 car.
So the next big difference is disc grips, dude. You can push.
Oh my God.
You can really push it. It won't slide.
Yeah.
It will, but you have to scare yourself to get it to slide.
Yeah.
The next biggest difference between the car is this car is more track ready straight out of the box. Transmission oil cooler, differential oil cooler, engine oil cooler. Not even close. 5,000.
I know, 5,000 RPM.
Yeah. Yeah, our gas mileage comparison is ruined.
We'll do it again tomorrow.
So, comes more track ready out of the box. The Boss, the brakes weren't track ready, the cooling wasn't track ready, the tires weren't. I mean, you could track those tires. Not the greatest track tires. I'm not a big fan of the Pirelli P0s. This car revs to 8250. The Boss revved to 75, 76. I think is when you actually hit the rev limiter. 75. They both make peak power at the same place though. 7,500 RPM.
That's really weird, the way that the throttle carries on, like when you lift off. That freaked me out the first time I did it, because I was like, no, I want to stop.
Does that.
Yeah, what the
I mean, it doesn't have rev matching, but it holds the throttle for your upshifts and downshifts to make it a little smoother. Yeah, that. Like, I'm not on the clutch. There's like a split second. The throttle, yeah.
It's almost like it thinks there's too much engine braking in second gear, so it doesn't let it engine brake.
Yeah.
Weird. Electronic throttles freak me out.
It just digs out of corners, huh?
The way it digs in second gear is like mind-bending. That's cool.
You should feel the dig in first gear. Like I've done one launch in this car, and it wasn't even a launch. It was a rolling start, and then flat to the floor, and it just squats and go. It just plants and goes. You're way too slow, Rose. It's on. Much faster. It doesn't go.
Yeah. See, there you can feel the system's working a little bit. Where it's like helping stuff you into the corner.
It's not. It doesn't intervene though. It doesn't like get in the way.
No, it's not intrusive. It's helping you. I didn't expect it to be this buckled down.
Yeah, no, it's totally
doesn't feel it in like the suspension control department.
Yeah.
No, this thing's amazing. I don't think you'd ever get tired of the exhaust note, especially the way it sounds on down changes.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, I love the sound of the Boss, and the Vets sound awesome too. But this is just a really unique, different sound. It kind of screams at you. It doesn't rev like a Ferrari would or anything like that. It's not that free revving, but it does rev freer than your traditional American V8s do. So it's kind of I'd say maybe in between, in the middle ground between the two. And that's what makes the rev matching and heel towing so much fun in this car, because you pop the throttle and the revs just shoot up.
Yeah, this does have a lot less engine braking than the Corvette or any of the LS motors. The engine just feels more free revving.
It's a lot less.
Such a good noise.
The flywheel, or excuse me, the crankshaft is a lot less mass on it. The cars are just in totally different worlds. The Boss was an afterthought of the S197 platform.
Oh, that's not fair.
It really was. It was an afterthought. It was, okay, we have this Mustang GT. We're going to put a better motor in it. The magic of the Boss was the motor. It really was. It was an awesome motor.
You put a lot of work into picking the shocks and the springs.
Yeah, but they were still shitty. They were still shitty dampers. They weren't great. They did.
Hey, those dampers are on my Mustang now. How dare you?
Well, they're in comparison to a Magnaride damper.
Well,
I mean, that's what, 6-year-old technology in 5-year-old technology in comparison to this. But many people are gonna want to crucify me for saying this, and I've said this to Russ before. Here it goes. This car, I say this is my analogy. It's the Porsche of Mustangs, because it's a car you can buy, take it straight from the showroom floor, drive it to the racetrack, race all day long, and then drive it home and not have any problems. That's why I say that. And it's comfortable. Put it in normal mode, the steering in comfort, the ride is smooth, it's quiet, you know, and then go switch it to track mode, and then you're ready for the track. So that's why I say that. And the tires are amazing.
the tires,
Super Sports are awesome.
Yep.
They're the best all-around tire for street and track use.
The motor is surprising in that it still has good low-end torque.
Yeah.
When I saw the red line in it, I immediately thought, oh, 3,800 pound car, revs to 8250. You know, I thought it was going to be like the E92 M3, where there's nobody home down low and the car's just obnoxious to drive.
Yeah.
And that's not the case at all. It's just as much fun, you know, from 3,000 to 5,000 as it is from 5,000 to 7,000 to 8,000.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the composure too. Whenever I first rode it must have been in a different damper mode, because you can still feel a little bit of that vertical body motion that sort of defines Mustangs. But in track mode, there's none of it. The car feels even more locked down than any of the Corvettes with their super low center of gravity that I've driven recently. It's just amazing.
It doesn't have an obnoxious. I mean, for example, I had the Livebox Sportline springs in the Boss, and that car was harsh on the ride. This isn't harsh, it's just firm, and it doesn't lean and pitch. It stays flat, you know?
Alright, this is my first gear launch of the
You take it up to 3, and then just punch it. It'll just dig and go. What did you rev it to? You saw the flashing lights?
Yeah, about 7, I think, 75. 7. Yeah, like I can't bring myself to actually let it, because the dial like is like almost
Yeah, it feels wrong to take the car all the way up to 8,000 RPMs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so we didn't talk about the gearing yet. How they stretched out.
Yeah.
You know, just a little bit more gear in the transmission and a little bit taller tire and then a little bit more RPM, and it totally transforms where you make your shift points.
On the same track, the Boss at National Corvette Museum, at the racetrack at the National Corvette Museum, and this car I'm using second, third, and fourth, And really, I can just get around with using third and fourth. There's one corner, the hairpin. I go into second gear in this car, and it just digs out of that corner. Miatas.
You know, one thing is just a little bit disappointing about the exhaust. It doesn't pop and bang as much as the other Mustangs. Like when you downshift, it does it just briefly.
Yeah, it doesn't pop and bang. You're right. The boss did that a lot.
And I mean, I know it's a gimmick, but it's, I don't know, I kind of miss it.
Yeah. Now we have to get in your car and go get food. And we'll talk about the differences between this car and the Corvette.
I don't want to talk about my car. It's a piece of shit.
No, it's not. The 50th anniversary Corvette.
Whew.
Made it.
That was
Hold on.